So apparently there's this Disney tag going around the internet where, well, there's actually a lot of Disney tags going around the internet, but this is one in particular that I saw on Liam Dryden's YouTube page, and this is my response to it. Some of these questions are really too hard, so I guess we'll see how my answers turn out, but here we go. Question number 1. A scene in any Disney movie which you wish you could experience. This is really not a fair question. I mean, seriously, how do you expect me to go through all of the Disney movies that I love and pick one scene that I want to experience? But I did it anyway, and I came up with the whole musical sequence of Color of the Wind and Pocahontas, because who doesn't want to jump off a waterfall like that and survive? That's just awesome. Question number 2. An unforgettable experience / moment you've had at the parks. Well, I've only ever been to Disneyland, and that was when I was 8 years old, and I had just read Alice in Wonderland for the first time, and of course I fell in love with it. And as soon as we got to the park, I saw the Mad Hatter. I mean, literally, that was the first thing that happened when I walked through the gate, was the Mad Hatter came out to me, and we had this tea party, and it was really fun because he was talking to me, and my mom, of course, had to tell him that I just finished reading Alice in Wonderland. And so then he made everyone stop that was around us and stop and watch, and we had to act out one of the scenes from the book that I had read, and I remembered the tea party scene the most. So I sat and had an imaginary tea party with the Mad Hatter in the very front of Disneyland when I was 8 years old. And it was pretty awesome, not gonna lie. I have a picture. Question number 3. What non-Disney songs remind you or bring back memories of Disney and or the parks? I think I'm gonna have to go with any song by Phil Collins. And the reason I'm saying that is because his voice, I just associate with Tarzan automatically. So even if it's not a song that was in Tarzan, I still think Tarzan because of Phil Collins. When was the first time you went to a Disney park? Well, my first and only time, I was 8 years old, and my family took a 3-week vacation to California, and we went to Disneyland in the last leg of that journey. I kind of wish we had gone at the beginning because we were all exhausted by that time. We'd done so much traveling and sightseeing and crazy touristy stuff. But I still really enjoyed it. I just wish that I had been old enough to appreciate roller coasters. I did not at that time. Now I can't get enough of them. Question number 5. If you could choose any of the characters to be your best friend, who would you choose? I'm definitely gonna have to go with Robin Hood or Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Robin Hood is just epic. He's like epicness personified. And I would love to have a best friend that personified epicness. But I have a lot of similarities to Alice. I'm really curious, and I don't know if it's okay. Yeah, it's gotten me into trouble before. I end up breaking things a lot of the time because I'm curious to see like what a button does, or if I push it this hard, will it really break? Yes, it will. So I'd have to choose one of those two. Yeah. Question number 6. Who are your favorite Disney princesses? Seriously? Are you seriously asking me this question? This is not fair. I really like Disney princesses a lot. I've always liked Belle. She was always my favorite. But then, as I got older, I really learned to appreciate Ariel a lot, just because I love the story of The Little Mermaid. Both the original fairy tale and the Disney version. But then, I really learned to love Mulan and Pocahontas around the same time. They didn't come out around the same time, obviously, but just I've noticed, like, as I get older, I love Disney movies more and more, and it's hard to just choose a favorite now. I most like Belle. That's hands down, no questions asked. But as far as the others go, my favorite, I would probably have to say, because I really love Rapunzel and Merida, especially Merida. I love Merida. I'm gonna have to go with Merida and Belle. Merida Merida and Belle, but Pocahontas, Mulan, and Rapunzel are really, really close. Really, really close. Question number 7. Name a scene/moment in any Disney movie that never fails to make you cry. One of the last scenes in Brave, the new Disney Pixar movie, and I'm not going to say what happens because it's sort of the whole climax and pinnacle of the film, and it would ruin the movie for you. But I think those that have seen Brave can probably guess what scene I'm talking about. It's full of reconciliation, and it's just super sweet, and I love it, and it makes me think of my mom every time, and I love mom. Question number 8. What is the first Disney movie you remember seeing? Toy Story 2 in cinemas. As far as not cinema, I would probably have to say Peter Pan, which is one of my favorites. But I went to see Toy Story 2 at least 2 or 3 times in theaters, so I really remember that one well. And Peter Pan I would check out from the library on VHS all the time, and I'd watch it over and over, and I believed in Peter Pan, and I would literally sit by my window at night and wait for him sometimes. He never came, which is kind of sad. The last question, question number 9. What is your favorite Disney movie? That is a seriously unfair question, and I'm considering not answering it because there's so many wonderful Disney movies. I don't think I could choose just one. So I'm going to compromise, and I will tell you my favorites based on categories. As far as like classic Disney movies go, I'm gonna have to go with Peter Pan, Robin Hood, or Alice in Wonderland. Those 3 are definitely tied in that category. And then the 90s era, Beauty and the Beast. There's no contest about that whatsoever. And in Disney Pixar, Brave is definitely my favorite. Ratatouille comes in at a close second, and the whole Toy Story trilogy. It is thrilling, so I'm gonna keep that. Trilogy is not far behind. So yeah, those are my favorites. So that has been my Disney tag. If you want to do it and respond to it, then that's awesome. But if not, then just enjoy my opinions of Disney films and know that I love them all. And if I left any out, I've probably seen it, and I probably love it just as much as the ones that I've mentioned. So until next time.